Alright, we are back in action. We are on the play. This hand looks fine. Got a fan bearer we can get going pretty quickly. If we draw another land, we can get Dauntless Haven going. Not exactly the aggressive start I want, but we can definitely at least play lands and spells. Can't really afford to mulligan those. Been a good draw if we had a mountain. Just attack for one, pass the turn. Doom to center. Pretty good card against my deck. Ooh, a land was good. See if he wants to chump block here. Alright. That is fine. Better than him having it around to get value against the No Catcher's Avenger later. Kind of hoping that this Aven is able to stick around for a while. It's kind of my way to apply pressure at this point. Without it, we're gonna have to like go ham on this Burning Fist Minotaur in order to keep applying the beats. Ruin Rat. It's not such a big deal at the moment. Chose not to attack with the zombie. That's kind of interesting. We had land. It's not awful. Because now I can play the Minotaur and hold up Fan Bearer or Impeccable Timing. Or I guess, no, we can't hold up Minotaur activation. We'd need another red. Just attack for 2. Untap's not going to matter, but it's fine. Another land would be good, and drop this Aven. But if we don't draw land, it means we drew a spell, which would also be acceptable. It's pretty rude. I guess I'll tap something. What do I want to do? Probably just lose 3. I'll tap the zombie. Doesn't really matter, he's not going to attack. But it's fine. Alright, that's good. Let's attack for 2. I think we're slightly ahead, but obviously a lot of things could change that. This is a good example of a hand where, you know, it sort of exemplifies why I don't care that much about removal in these kinds of decks. I would just rather have it just more threats to apply pressure. Because you don't really need to, when you're the aggressor, you don't need to worry as much about what your opponent's doing, just getting their things out of the way. Like Dreamstealer, I don't care. Alright, so the ground game is not going to work out too well. That's an interesting draw. don't know how useful it's going to be this turn. How do I want to play this? What would happen if I sent in my Burning Fist Minotaur? If you put everything in front of it, I could pump it up to kill 2 things. Impeccable Timing would not save it. So that would not be a good value, because I don't really want it to trade for any 2 of his cards. Best play would probably just be to attack with Avon and pass. Wait to see if anything changes from his side. I'll just tap his Dream Stealer on his turn. Could cycle this limits, but I think it'll be useful later. If he plays a flyer, maybe we could steal the last few points of damage at some point later. Looks like he might be choked on blue mana. That's fine, that doesn't change anything. Can't really attack. Okay. Just keep doing what we've been doing. There's a world where I would want to cycle this, but probably just do it end of turn. It's nice to have the mana open to make some decisions in combat if need be. Still just going to tap the Dream Stealer. Don't care about this Eternal hitting me once or twice. Sending in with his Eternal, huh? Probably just going to block that. Not sure what he's representing. Yeah, I figured as much. I'm just going to take 2. If nothing else changes, I'll probably cycle this Resolve. Double Dream Stealer, huh? Alright. And okay, so play a mountain. So it lets us double pump if need be later. Don't think that limits will do anything at this juncture. Attack with Avon. Again, not going to cycle right now, because if he like plays a big flyer and suddenly this limits becomes a real card. But if nothing else, if he just plays like another ground creature, I might just cycle it. I'm feeling fine with my spot. Cycle Wasteland Scorpion. So the only thing I care about now is him being able to kill this Haven or block it in any way. Oh, I forgot to tap. That was dumb of me. Luckily it doesn't impact me too much. I'll just double block one of them and then discard the mountain. You won't be able to kill either of my guys. Passing the turn. Once again, I guess technically stealing an afflict creature could be a way to steal a win later, so I'll still hold on to it. So what I could do is sack the Dunes and send in with the Avon for 4. If it dies, then I'd be able to limit his Merciless Eternal, which would be lethal turn after that, if he had a way to deal with the Enduring Hope. The only downside to that plan would be if he had a way to deal with the Aven, I wouldn't be able to, like if he had a bounce spell, I wouldn't be able to recast it. But I have a feeling that he doesn't have anything to impact combat this turn. There's only sorcery speed, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and sack the dunes. Sacrifice dunes, yes. Attack for 4. I'm not going to tap the Dream Stealer this time, because I might want this Fanbearer to be able to block this turn, depending on if he makes some weird all-out attack. Yeah, I'll just tap the Dream Stealer. I don't think there's any way we die this turn. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, potentially 10. He would have to pull 7 damage out of his ass somehow, up with only 2 mana. Just passing the turn. Alright, so let's just go ahead and steal the Afflict 2 creature, just to be safe. Now he has to deal with both this and the Aven, if he had an instant speed removal spell. What is this now? Open fire. Yep, perfect. Played around it. It's a good thing I did that, because we would have had a pretty tough time winning this game if I had cycled this limit. Sweet. Alright, so playing against blue, black, splash, red makes me think like Nicol Bolas maybe on the splash, in addition to the open fire. Open fire is not the kind of card I would expect to be splashed on its own. Jira's Resolve not necessarily at its best against black-blue. It is good against open fire though. I was just thinking that before we played the open fire, like I might want to side out the Jira's Resolve, but now I'm a little less sure because we saw it. Like we could consider cutting it for Kindled Fury just for the extra power or something, but they do essentially the same thing still. Gideon's Defeat doesn't do anything for me, or Chandra's Defeat in theory. Although if he does have Nicol Bolas, that would be a next level sideboard decision. Didn't see anything to disenchant. I think we're just good to go.